Hi, everyone, and welcome to Rescriptive Podcast, where we could celebrate the great things in life, share about the not so great parts, and find out how we can rewrite those challenges, turn them into insightful moments that will lead us to change, to growth, to happiness, and empowerment, all so that we can live the life we truly want to experience. In today's episode, we are going to be discussing how to build confidence through resilience. So I know that when we go through challenging times, the first thing that we want to do is kind of just look at it and try to understand why things are not working out the way that you wanted them to, right? You feel like something's wrong, something is falling apart. The last thing that you're going to think is that it's actually working for your benefit. But truly it is. You see, when we have to go through building resilience and how to persevere and things of that nature, it's not that you're experiencing something that's trying to take you out, something that's trying to work against you. It's actually trying to build you. So whatever it is in life, when you're going through a challenging time, don't look at it like it's trying to take you out. A lot of things that you can try to do instead is, once you come to this challenging point, ask yourself, what are some of the benefits from this? How are you able to grow? What are some areas, maybe some blind spots that you may have had, and now being able to go through this challenging time, you're able to see and witness, and being able to explore different ways of how to handle things. You see, because so much, it's a lot of the times we want to give up, because if we feel that something is kind of giving us some resistance, we don't look at it like we're building resiliency. We're actually thinking that maybe we're down the wrong path, or maybe we're not meant to be here, or you don't think of how to work it out. Sometimes it's easier to think that there's an easier way, there's a different avenue to go down, and sometimes that's what you end up exploring, and that's what makes you a little bit get sidetracked, deviate from what you're really trying to get to. Because sometimes when there's uncomfortable things, sometimes it's uncomfortable to try to go through it. And a lot of the times, building resiliency, it's like working out, right? Everybody wants the results, but how many of us really get into the gym, dedicate and devote ourselves to getting those results? It takes some time, it takes some dedication, it takes some learning how to appropriately handle your situation, right? So going out to the gym, everyone's body is different. So the way and how you're going to gain your results may be different from one person to the next. Well, the same thing in building your skills and talent and craft. There's some resiliency that you have to get through, right? Because there's so many areas in life where things are already built for you, things are already made out for you. So it's easy. So you try to just do a lot of plug and play. But then what happens when the plug and play doesn't work for you? Some of the things that you have to take into consideration, because it's a lot of times it's the road in which we will stop. It is the point in where we feel like we have to try something new, versus trying to look and see what are the things we can gain from these challenging moments, and how we can pivot, and how we could make it work for our good. The last thing that we should be doing, the worst thing that we can truly do, is give up. Because then there's so much. Maybe we let go of the frustration at the moment. Maybe we get like that temporary feel of relief. However, when you have to build to something, regardless of what, you'll have to still go down this journey. So whether you do it now or whether you do it later, the road will come again to surface. So that means you're going to have to build this resiliency if you really want to achieve something. Like they say, there's no better way to something than through it. And a lot of times we get scared because a lot of it can be too painful. Sometimes we have to deal with things that we don't want to. Sometimes again, we're trying to skip the line, and we're trying to see what is the quickest road, what is the quickest roadmap, without trying to actually dive in and do all the work. But the truth of the matter is, as you're growing, and even in these times of challenging moments, that's going to build that resiliency in you, you're going to discover a different version of you. You're going to fall in love with a different version of you. And as you're going through these moments in life, it's going to help you mature. You know, a lot of times in life, we get stuck, whether it's by choice, whether it's through trauma, or whether it's just forgetting to take control of what we know is best. You know, we have that intuition, we have that gut feeling, and sometimes just analyzing things, and you look at something and you can say, like, I know this doesn't make sense. I know that there's a better way, but you're scared to implement your way. That in and of itself will get you like stagnant, right? So that's something that you're trying to avoid. And the only way to really build the confidence in doing that is being able to go ahead and go through the process. The easy parts, the challenging parts, weather the storm, but don't just weather it for the sake of just tolerating like a bad time, or saying that life is tough sometimes, because that doesn't give reason and rationale to what you're going through. Our journeys may be different, so your challenges and your obstacles will be different from mine. So I may not understand precisely every fragment of your growth process, but I can understand the emotional barriers that you have to break through in order to get there. And a lot of times those are the hardest things. When it's physical, we can do it. Like I said, we can go to the gym. When it's mental, we can do it. We'll go and we'll study and we'll research and we'll do whatever it is that we have to do. But when it comes to our emotions, that's just something that can really, you try to numb yourself to it. You try to create walls and block some of those things. And truly, it's just a disservice, because ultimately you have to overcome these things. Ultimately, if you want to achieve to a certain level, there's a more in tune connection that you have to have with yourself in order to do so. So if you're looking for all of your strength outside, whether it's physical strength, whether it's, mental abilities and capabilities, yes, those are all needed and those are all really essential. However, when it's building the resiliency that you need, a lot of time it's breaking out of those norms that are no longer working for you. But you're so used to them, you've adapted yourself to them, and you've been able to like manicure and function within that frame, that to think outside of it can be really challenging. And sometimes you're opposed. Sometimes you're like, no, this is how it's worked, and this is where it makes sense. And you try to keep staying on that journey. However, that journey is not serving you anymore. And it's asking you to grow. So whenever you get to a point in life where you feel like you have to overcome some obstacles, it's because this journey is now unfolding itself, and it's bringing you to areas where it's time for you to grow. And kind of better late than never, right? But like I said, it's not, I don't want you to look at life and think that, life is just hard and that's just life. No, because life is meant to serve you. It's meant to serve you better than you even understand. Because if you don't understand your areas of weakness, or you don't know how to guide yourself in the right way, well, the steps that are going to take you to where you want to go, they're going to align with that, and they're going to make themselves, they're going to put, the opportunities are going to present themselves to you, and then it's going to be up to you whether you want to take that journey or not. But if you choose not to, then you're also saying no to the aspirations that you were building towards. And believe me, I know so many of us do this. We want to get to a certain place. We have all these goals and we have everything planned out and we have so much ambition behind it. But sometimes there's like a little struggle. Sometimes there's like this internal like blockage, and you don't know what it is. But I will advise you to just keep going, whether it's inch by inch or mile by mile, wherever you are in your journey. Progress is progress, and that's what you have to really appreciate, because if you take 1 inch every single day, then in a year span you've moved 360 inches. That's quite a bit of a distance, so it's worth it, no matter how small it may feel in the beginning. But every move towards your progress is worth it. So I would say make sure not to look at some moments that are challenging to you, and don't look at it and say, like I'm down the wrong road. You're not. You're going to, as long as you have that ambition in your heart, you're going to, and you've probably seen this too, like this lesson has resurfaced itself a couple times. So you know that you finally get to a point you're just like, okay, there's nothing else to do except to deal with it head first. And a lot of times you're going to see it wasn't even as scary as you thought it was, but really take the time. I would always advise, take the time to really map out what it is that you're going through and where it is that you want to go in your journey, because in that you're able to see what is really working for you, what is really benefiting you and your journey, and honestly what needs to be cut out and what needs to be worked on. So those are the things I would say when you're building resiliency. Sometimes when we don't have like a roadmap, we don't know where we're going, we don't know what's working in our benefit and what isn't. So sometimes we could just be busy with doing just a lot of work, just a lot of busy work. And, being busy for the sake of being busy isn't going to do much for you. And you're going to feel it in your soul. You're going to feel it in your spirit. You're going to want something that gives you more substance. You're going to want something, you want to invest in something that's a little bit more significant than just being busy. That's when you start to get bored. That's when you start to be like demotivated, and you're just not inspired. And then you start looking for things outside of your daily life. But what if you start building your daily life to be exactly how you want it to? Because there's no better life than yours, because you are always there. And who's in charge of it? Who can dictate how that goes? It's you, by really being honest with yourself. And once we are able to do that, and we look at some of the challenges that we're going through, and instead of trying to run from them, we actually work through them, you're actually going to be a witness of your own maturity, and you're going to fall in love with that version of you. Because although it's great to have fun and it's great to travel and have beautiful moments, it's a wonderful feeling to have purpose, because then everything aligns and everything makes sense, and you start to see beauty in everything, and you're not feeling like you have to escape your life. You're able to see that there's beautiful elements of it that are significant, and you're able to see different ways that it can develop, and your life becomes your own art. It becomes your way how you contribute to different things. And that, trust me, that will blend into different areas in life, in personal, in business, in relationships. And that's what you ultimately want. You want to find the authentic version of you, so that you can show up as the best version of you. Because like I say, you can give all of you and still not give the best of you. And in that way, you really are robbing yourself, and you're robbing those from the best version of you, and as we start to feel depleted, and you don't want that. You want to be able to feel purposeful and vibrant, and feel like every day is beautiful, and we're excited to live today, can't wait to live tomorrow. Through the ups and downs, no days are perfect, but they all are significant, and they're all meant to serve you. So as long as you're able to look at that and see that when you come across challenges, they're not meant to take you down, they're not meant to take you out, they're actually meant to build you in the beautiful way that you want to. Like some people in a law of attraction and manifesting and things like that, a lot of times when you get stuck is when all of that manifesting brings you to an area where now you have to also manifest and grow up to different areas in life, and you choose not to. That's where we stop and we're like, whoa. And but know that everything that you've done, everything that you want, everything that you really want to be a part of, it's just naturally doing that. It's growing you and taking you there. So don't resist. The elements are going to bring you to become resilient. It's actually working in your favor. And if you need help with this, I do have a master class. This masterclass, I am so excited because we start off with your current point, where you are currently and what challenges you are facing. And it's a live masterclass, and I go over it with you. And in the masterclass, we're able to see and develop what are some of the challenges along the way and how and what that truly impacts, and what are the next action steps to move forward so that you can be able to take the lead and build the framework to your dream life, because you truly deserve it. Because a lot of times we really aren't that far away from the dream life we really want to have. We just need a few tweaks and we'll be right there. And I want to assist you with that if you are finding it a little challenging to find out what it is precisely that you have to tweak. So if you are interested in that, please sign up for our masterclass. I'll link all the information down below. But if you are ready for something even more profound, more of a transformation, I have this wonderful course called Tailor Your Life. And in that 12-week program, we really do dissect really the core of some of these challenges. What's creating your self-doubt that's going to lead to self-sabotage that ultimately brings you to have that so uncomfortable feeling of imposter syndrome. Because ultimately what we want is to align with our purpose. We want to know what our calling is so that we can live more effectively in it. And that is what that program walks you through and allows you to see that journey unfold right in front of you, so that you can continuously always see where you're going, where you're guiding, and all the different elements and components that you'll need to go through that process and effectively find your purpose. So if that's something that you are excited about and that's something that you are truly wanting to transform into, you're tired of this guessing game, you're tired of trying to figure it out, and you really just truly want a core blueprint to finding out what your purpose is and be able to align with it, then I invite you to have a discovery session with me. Also, the information will be down below, and we'll talk about it and see if that's what you are ready to do, if you really are ready to take those next steps, and I'll be happy and more than excited to be able to assist you with that as well. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you enjoyed this episode and feel like it was insightful, then I ask you to please rate it, like it, and subscribe, and share it with someone you feel will enjoy it. I'll be back here next week, and we will continue to discuss matters regarding personal development. Take care, guys. Have a blessed week, and I'll see you next time.